Hey, LaDonna Hale here out in Springfield, Oregon. I wanted to hop on really quickly and just, I'm going to take 10 minutes and just share with you a little bit of a synopsis of what my daughter and I taught on last night in our Ascent Business and Mindset group. If you are not in that and you are an entrepreneur or someone who is aspiring to be an entrepreneur, is a really great place to come for insight on all kinds of things, social media training, how to keep your mindset in a great place. Hey, Teresa, thanks for being here. Really just a place to be, to have support from other people who are on the same journey as you, aspiring to up level in your life, in your business. And we do a lot of mindset training because we wrote this really phenomenal book, the Prime for Your Ascent workbook. Mariah and I did. So Mariah is my oldest daughter. She is the mama to 3 and about to be 4 babies any day now. And we started in network marketing together. She started before me. I joined her almost 7 years ago, and I went from corporate sales into network marketing. And while I was still doing corporate sales for a Berkshire Hathaway company, I was building a huge team in network marketing and having a blast and having so much fun. And that is not my point to this, but a bit it is, because you really fun and enjoying your life needs to be at the top of your priority list, regardless of what you're aspiring to do in your life. And so, do you feel stuck? I mean, this is a year that it is really easy to feel stuck. We have, I wrote the number in something earlier. I think it was 22 million. I could have this number wrong, so I'm not going to quote that, but it is a huge amount of job loss in the US this year, and we've only regained a half of that loss because of the way this pandemic has hit our country. So my point in that is that it is very easy right now to feel stuck. I mean, here's an example of that. I walk every day. It's at the top of my priority list. I do this loop down by the river by where we live, and I am literally watching the human race divide ourselves from each other. Like my youngest daughter walked with me today, and she's like, "Wow, Mom, does this happen every day?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't wear a mask when I'm outside. I'm respectful and I stay away from people, and I'm outside." And so for me, I'm in nature. I don't feel like I need to wear a mask when I'm out and you can get out of my 6-foot parameter, right? That's just my personal opinion. And people literally turn away from me from 10 feet away. They do it when I have the babies in the stroller, even my grandkids that walk with me almost every day. And so we have an incredible divide right now on so many different levels. So this is a year that it can feel very easy to be feeling stuck, right? We can't travel like we used to. People are out of work in different capacities or working in a different capacity. Like I've worked from home for years. Even when I was in corporate sales, I worked from home. I traveled a territory. I worked from my computer. I worked from a hotel room. Like that is a very normal piece of how I've done my job for years. But many people, that isn't a normal way for them to do work. So there've been pivots, learning how, like I never even really thought about the challenge of learning how to work from a space that isn't your desk that you go into, that's prepared and ready for you, right? This has been a year of needing to make change really quickly in order to stay emotionally well. So as we close out this year, Mariah and I did a training that's about a half an hour long on visualization. It's one of the chapters that we teach in our book. If you want to be added to the business group to have the full in-depth training on this, let me know. Just drop it in the comments. I'll get you added to the Business and Mindset group. I will also drop the link to the group in the comments. I do not have my readers on. I'm going to put them on because I love to interact. I don't like to sit here and not be able to see, but I can't read that. Can't go see my husband. It's been 293 days since we hugged. We live on phone calls. I am so sorry. I'm sending all my love around that for you. Right. That is incredibly challenging. So that is a position that you are stuck, right? You are held back from being able to see your loved one. So how do we deal with that? And how do we get ourselves in a space where emotionally we can stay well during those times when we do feel stuck? And this applies to relationships. This applies to our health. This applies to business. This applies to multiple different things. So we talked about this in the training in more depth in relation to visualization. So this is a time in this week for me, and I did a lot of it last week, which is interesting. So this week has been kind of fun, more vacation mode mind for me, right? I work for myself, and oftentimes we don't give ourselves the time to regroup and have vacation when we actually work for ourselves, especially when we're really passionate about what we do. Like my work doesn't always feel like work, but sometimes I need to stop myself. So this has been a week of a little bit more kind of relaxing. I added in a new fun lash line, and so I'm kind of sharing that, but I've taken just a breather from all of the things to assess my next year, because in order to be able to get unstuck in some areas, you need to know where you're stuck. And when we're in the day in, day out grind of working our business and running our family and managing our life, maybe we don't know that we're having some challenges over here if we don't look at that area directly and assess what we did this year with that area and where we want improvement. So as far as visualization goes, we like to look at it in different areas. So take out a pen and a piece of paper, and you can do this after we get off this live if you don't want to do it right now. I will write each of these areas in the comments when we're done, so you can come back to it if you want. But this is just a really fun exercise. In order for you to be able to, I use a vision board every year. I use blue note cards that I write down the things that are on my vision board. I actually write those goals as if, thank you for, because then I can have the feeling around that accomplishment being achieved. Because visualization has so much to do with that, the emotional energy that we feel around what we're aspiring to do. So visualization with action steps to get us to that goal is huge. So from now until the end of the year, take some time to look at where you are now, and then really where you want to be in relation to these areas, in relation to the amount of fun. So write this down, the amount of fun that you've had this year and the amount of fun that you want to have next year. And if adventure and travel and like being nomadic is something that has been a challenge for you because of the climate of our world right now, think about the ways that you can get out in locally, right? Like I need to go, I have to travel, I have to get out. And so I allowed myself still to travel this year. I just did it safely. I road tripped, I stayed away from people. I did more. I mean, I'm an outdoors person. I love the hot springs and the mountains and the rivers. And so I did that with my oldest daughter and my grandbabies. And I did that with my husband. We took a trip out to Idaho, and we just stayed away from people, but still fueled ourselves with fun and adventure. So fun is the first thing I want you to look at. Did you have fun this year? And then I want you to write down the area, what you can do in 2021 to improve your level of fun. And just write a list of those things that you want to do, that you aspire to do, that would create more fun in your life. So the first one is fun. I want you to do the same thing with relationships. And then I want you to do the same thing with your health and your fitness. And then I want you to look at business, career, and financial. And then I want you to look at spirituality. And then I want you to look at your home environment. And then I want you to look at your intellectual property, your learning. And then I want you to look at your family life. And I want you to look at your social life. And then I want you to look at your emotional space. And emotional space could go into your spirituality. So those are the areas in the book that we love to have you look at what you did through the last year and how you feel in those areas, and then where you can make improvements. And so I don't want you to be hard on yourself. I don't want you to get down on where we're at in the world. Lowering your vibration because of the climate of where we are is incredibly unhealthy for all of us. I brought up that point on the bike path. Having a person physically turn away from my 3-year-old and almost 2-year-old grandbaby puts me in a space where I have to explain why, one, that isn't maybe necessarily the healthiest option for someone that's 10 feet from us to do, and that it has nothing to do with them because they're very social. They like to say hi. They live in a family that's very social. Why that isn't about them, and why that energy has shifted in our human connection and human conversation, right? So don't let your vibration be lowered by the state of the world, because that's unhealthy. I'm just going to call it for what it is. Mask, no mask, whatever your opinion is about that. I believe in being safe, but I also believe that we're creating a divide that is incredibly unhealthy in the human race. Period. That is my opinion. If you do not like that opinion, then you could probably hop off my Facebook, because we're probably not aligned and probably not intended to be connected. Because I have a strong belief that we need to be having really a high vibration in this world, and it needs to be coming from a place of love. And it's okay to safely be distanced, but still be showing up from a place of love and grace. And so don't let the climate of our world stop you from showing up with love and grace safely. You can still stay safe and still have eye contact and a healthy relationship with the other people that are sharing the outdoors with you. This is just this is just what happens to me daily on my walk, and it breaks my heart. So, just sorry, I didn't mean to go there. Sorry, not sorry. Just think about how you're reacting to other people because of the climate that we're in our world, and figure out a way to make it fun. Figure out a way you can make it fun right now. And if it isn't feeling fun and everything that you're doing in your life is feeling like drudgery, it's time to stop and reflect and look at where you need to make some shifts, right? Because when I went through this checklist, I went, you know what? I've got some things I want to do in my business and financial life a little differently. And I added some things. And there's nothing that says that you can't add to what you already have going on if you want to make more income and you're an entrepreneur. You don't have to just do one thing. Like you can have multiple streams of income. It's a beautiful time to have multiple streams of income. I've always operated in that capacity. I mean, I had a time where I was working corporate. I had a network marketing career. I ran a home as an Airbnb. I was refinishing furniture and I was flipping furniture. I mean, and I had a blast, right? I was a little overcommitted at that time. I figured out ways to do things in a smarter use of my time to make as much money, and that's really healthy. But I had to really look at where my energy was low, and that was really the only area, and how I could change it. And it literally changed for me in like this fast, because of adding some new energy and fun and fuel into my life, and something that I want to share in my life for income. So, I'm going to run through these one more time. Fun, relationships, health and fitness, business, career, financial, spirituality, your home and personal environment, your intellectual growth, your intelligence. I'll tell you this, if you're an entrepreneur, the best way to make an impact and earn income is to be educated, to educate other people. The more we gift and bless other people, the more we're rewarded. That's just how it works. So if you are in a space where you're trying to grow your business online, if you are in a space where you're working on growing your business in whatever it is, that it's most often it's relationship based, right? If we're selling something, it's relationship based. So look at what do you hold as intellectual property that you can gift and bless others with? I know how to make income. I can gift other entrepreneurs the capacity to be able to earn. I have 2 businesses that I can bring people into at very low cost startup. I'm passionate about that. I'm fueled with that. So that is easy for me to show up and educate around, because it's what I do in my life, right? It's how my life operates. So, but that was an area that needed some adjustment, because I needed to have a little bit more good energy in my life and more fuel and more fire. And so I just added something really fun. So look at your intellectual growth and what you know and what you hold, and then look at how much of that you're holding and how much you're giving away. Because if you want to grow, give it away. Share that intellectual property with others. One of the best ways for you to increase your reach as an entrepreneur online is to teach what you know. And it could lead back to you having great business partnerships. It could just lead back to having great collaboration. It could lead back to you selling what you hold in your hands that could benefit someone else. But it is how we're rewarded, by giving what we know. And then so another sidetrack, sorry. Back to it. Family, social, and then your emotional space, which I believe ties in with your spiritual. If you want the workbook and you want into our Ascent Business and Mindset community, please let me know. I will drop the link to the Business and Mindset community. I will drop the Amazon link to the workbook. We walk through in the workbook how to align your mission, vision, your values, write your daily method of operation for your business, because it's really specific to, we see this a lot, DMOs for entrepreneurs, and you can buy them and you can get them gifted from upline if you're in network marketing. And the reality is that there are some really key things that move businesses forward, but each of us has such a different life that writing a DMO for my daughter who has 3 little kids is very different than my DMO who has no children that I'm raising. So we teach you how to write your own, which is really awesome, right? That's a gift that you can carry with you into anything that you do. We teach you how to eliminate self-sabotage and fear. We teach you how to really stay focused on your gratitudes and your I am statements and your journaling every day. And you can get it done really quickly. And the book is really inexpensive for the amount of knowledge that you would pay a coach to be able to learn all of this. $19.99 is a very cheap way to get this all done in a 60-day format. We've written the workbook so you actually work through it in a 60-day format. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. It's a really, really great time to stop and reflect and to look at what areas you can increase your energy, your vibration, to be able to show up and impact the world in a bigger way. And maybe that world is just you and your space. And we all need to be showing up in a way that is filled with more love and grace and good energy to impact the world in a bigger, better way. So thank you for being here. I hope this was helpful. If it was, tag someone who needs to learn this. And again, the links will be in the comments for the group and the workbook. Thanks so much.